Ghosts on the ship. Part 1. The chase begins. The salty breeze whipped through my hair as I stood at the helm of the Black Tide, the pirate ship I called home. Captain Drake paced beside me, his weathered face etched with a mixture of determination and concern. We had been sailing for days, chased relentlessly by rumors of a ghost ship haunting the seas, a vessel manned by the restless souls of sailors lost to the abyss. "They're gaining on us, Captain," I called out, my voice barely audible over the creak of the rigging and the crash of the waves against our hull. Drake squinted into the distance, his gaze fixed on the horizon where dark clouds gathered ominously. I can feel their presence," he muttered, his hand tightening on the worn grip of his sword. "Prepare the crew. We'll make our stand at dawn." As dusk descended upon us like a cloak of shadows, the crew bustled with nervous energy, preparing for the impending confrontation. Lanterns flickered ominously, casting fleeting shadows that danced across the deck. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, every whisper of wind carrying the promise of impending doom. I glanced at the crew, men and women hardened by years of plunder and peril. They spoke in hushed tones, exchanging tales of the ghost ship that haunted their nightmares. Some believed it to be a harbinger of death, while others saw it as a cursed vessel doomed to wander the seas for all eternity. But amidst the fear, there was a quiet resolve that bound us together, a determination to face whatever horrors awaited us on the horizon. As night draped its velvet cloak over the ocean, a chill settled over my heart. I stood watch, scanning the darkness for any sign of our pursuer. Hours passed in tense silence, broken only by the occasional cry of a seabird or the distant crash of thunder. And then, just as the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of crimson and gold, we saw it, a specter emerging from the mist like a phantom from the depths of the abyss. The ghost ship loomed before us, its tattered sails billowing in a wind that carried the stench of decay and despair. Captain Drake's voice rang out, a beacon of defiance amidst the encroaching darkness. "Man the cannons! Prepare to repel boarders!" The crew sprang into action, their training kicking in with practiced precision. Cannons roared to life, sending fiery projectiles hurtling towards our spectral adversary. But the ghost ship seemed unfazed, weaving effortlessly through the barrage with an otherworldly grace. As we exchanged volleys with the ghostly crew, I caught glimpses of their faces, pale visages twisted in eternal torment, eyes burning with a hunger that chilled me to the bone. They fought with an unnatural strength, their spectral forms passing through solid objects as if they were mere illusions. Amidst the chaos, a new threat emerged from the depths, a sea monster of monstrous proportions, its scaled hide shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence. It surged from the depths, tentacles thrashing and jaws snapping hungrily at our beleaguered ship. "We're surrounded!" I shouted, my voice lost amidst the roar of cannon fire and the primal screams of the sea monster. The Black Tide shuddered beneath us, caught between the ghost ship and the ravenous sea creature. Desperation clawed at my heart as I fought alongside my comrades, each moment stretching into an eternity of uncertainty and terror. The sea monster's tentacles lashed out, snapping masts and crushing cannons with effortless brutality. The ghost ship closed in, its crew howling with a fury that echoed across the waves. And as I fought for my life amidst the chaos, a realization dawned with chilling clarity. We were not just battling for survival, but for our very souls against foes that transcended the realm of the living. Part 2. Dance of Shadows. The battle raged on, the Black Tide ensnared in a deadly dance between the ghost ship and the sea monster. Cannons thundered, their blasts echoing across the tumultuous sea. But our efforts seemed futile against adversaries that defied the natural order. Captain Drake's voice cut through the chaos, a beacon of command amidst the storm of battle. "Hold the line! We fight for our lives and our freedom!" With renewed determination, the crew rallied, their spirits ignited by Drake's unwavering resolve. We fought tooth and nail, each moment a desperate struggle against adversaries that seemed invincible. The ghost ship's crew moved with eerie precision, their movements fluid and haunting. They boarded our ship with spectral ease, their translucent forms passing through solid wood as if it were mist. I clashed swords with one of them, a phantom with eyes that burned with a hunger for vengeance. The sea monster, meanwhile, unleashed its wrath upon us with relentless fury. Its tentacles coiled around the black tide asterisk, squeezing the life out of our once proud vessel. Splintered wood and shattered cannons littered the deck, a testament to the ferocity of our battle. Amidst the chaos, I caught glimpses of Captain Drake, a figure of unwavering courage amidst the maelstrom. He fought with a primal ferocity, his sword a blur of steel against the ghostly assailants. His eyes blazed with determination, a man possessed by the need to protect his crew at all costs. But even Drake's indomitable spirit faltered in the face of such overwhelming odds. The ghost ship's captain emerged, a figure cloaked in darkness and crowned with a hat adorned with feathers that seemed to absorb the very light around it. Their duel was a spectacle of skill and fury, a clash of titans amidst the swirling chaos of battle. I fought alongside my captain, our blades weaving a dance of life and death. Each strike was a gamble against fate, each parry a prayer for survival. But as the battle wore on, I felt a creeping dread, the realization that our defiance might be in vain against adversaries that were not bound by mortal laws. The sea monster roared, its bellow echoing across the waves like a herald of doom. Tentacles lashed out with renewed vigor, wrapping around the black tide asterisk in a suffocating embrace. I struggled to maintain my footing, the deck slick with blood and brine, and then, just as hope began to flicker like a dying flame, a flash of inspiration pierced the darkness, a desperate gamble born of necessity and desperation. "Prepare the powder barrels!" I shouted above the din, my voice raw with exertion. The crew looked to me with a mix of uncertainty and resolve. "We'll sink them both!" Captain Drake's voice carried across the chaos, his eyes meeting mine with a silent understanding. With renewed purpose, we rallied the crew. Powder barrels were rolled onto the deck, their contents a volatile mix of destruction and defiance. We rigged fuses and positioned them strategically, each barrel a ticking time bomb amidst the cacophony of battle. As the ghost ship closed in for another boarding attempt, and the sea monster's tentacles tightened their grip, we made our stand, a last-ditch effort to turn the tide of battle in our favor. The air crackled with tension as the fuses were lit, their flames racing towards the powder barrels like fiery serpents. Time seemed to slow as we braced for the inevitable explosion, a cataclysmic finale to a battle that had pushed us to the brink of oblivion. Part 3. Inferno of Retribution. The fuses burned with an ominous hiss, their flames racing toward the powder barrels with relentless determination. Around us, the ghost ship closed in, its crew descending upon us like wraiths hungry for vengeance. The sea monster's tentacles tightened their grip, its monstrous form looming over us like a specter of doom. "Steady!" Captain Drake's voice cut through the chaos, his gaze locked on the approaching adversaries. The crew stood ready, their weapons raised in a final act of defiance against foes that defied the natural order. As the first powder barrel ignited, the explosion rent the air with a deafening roar. Fire and shrapnel erupted in a deadly dance of destruction, engulfing the ghost ship in a blazing inferno. Spectral screams echoed across the waves, their haunting cries drowned out by the fury of the explosion. The sea monster recoiled, its tentacles thrashing in agony as the shockwave reverberated through the water. The black tide asterisk rocked violently, splintered wood and debris raining down like a torrent of retribution. Amidst the chaos, I fought with a desperate ferocity, my blade a whirlwind of steel against the ghostly assailants. They flickered and faded like wisps of smoke, their spectral forms dissipating into the inferno that consumed their vessel. But the sea monster was not so easily vanquished. It surged forward with renewed fury, its massive form undeterred by the devastation wrought upon its spectral allies. Tentacles lashed out with deadly precision, threatening to crush the black tide asterisk in its relentless grasp. "We need to finish this!" I shouted above the roar of battle, my voice hoarse with exertion. Captain Drake nodded grimly, his eyes blazing with a determination born of desperation and resolve. We rallied the crew once more, our hearts pounding in unison as we faced the final, terrifying confrontation with the sea monster. Cannons roared to life once more, their blasts echoing across the tumultuous sea. We targeted the creature's vulnerable points, aiming to weaken its monstrous form before it could deliver the killing blow. The sea monster thrashed and roared, its primal fury a testament to the depths of its rage. Tentacles swept across the deck, smashing through barricades and sending crew members flying like rag dolls. Blood mingled with seawater, the deck slick with the remnants of battle. In the midst of the chaos, Captain Drake and I fought side by side, a last bastion of defiance against a foe that threatened to devour us whole. We dodged and parried, striking with precision and timing honed through years of survival on the treacherous seas. But as the battle wore on, I felt a creeping sense of dread. The realization that our strength alone might not be enough to overcome a creature born of nightmares and the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. And then, just as hope threatened to slip through our fingers like sand, a glimmer of inspiration sparked in the chaos, a daring gambit born of desperation and determination. "We need to lure it closer to the reef," I shouted, my voice carrying above the din of battle. Captain Drake's eyes widened in realization, his gaze locking onto the jagged rocks that loomed ominously in the distance. "Prepare to maneuver!" he bellowed, his voice cutting through the storm of battle. The crew sprang into action, their movements synchronized with the precision of a well-oiled machine. With calculated precision, we steered the black-tide towards the treacherous reef, the sea monster in relentless pursuit. Its tentacles thrashed and coiled, driven by a primal instinct to protect its territory at all costs. As we neared the jagged rocks, I braced myself for the final perilous gamble, a daring maneuver that would either spell our salvation or seal our doom. Part 4. Dance with the Depths. The black-tide surged forward, the sea monster in relentless pursuit, its massive form undeterred by the treacherous reef ahead. We navigated the narrow channels between jagged rocks, the ship groaning in protest as it threaded through the maze of obstacles. "Steady as she goes!" Captain Drake's voice rang out, a steadying presence amidst the chaos. I gripped the helm tightly, my heart pounding in rhythm with the pounding surf and the thundering beat of my own pulse. The sea monster closed in, its tentacles sweeping through the water with deadly precision. We maneuvered with split-second timing, dodging and weaving through the labyrinthine channels, each turn a gamble against the jaws of oblivion. "Fire!" Captain Drake's command shattered the tension, cannons roaring to life as we unleashed a barrage of firepower at the sea monster's vulnerable points. Explosions rocked the black-tide, sending shockwaves through the water and rattling the very bones of our vessel. But the sea monster was relentless, its primal fury undiminished by our assault. Tentacles lashed out with renewed ferocity, threatening to crush the black-tide in its relentless grasp. I fought with a desperate determination, my senses heightened by the adrenaline coursing through my veins. The ship groaned beneath me, its timbers straining against the relentless assault. Waves crashed against the hull, threatening to swallow us whole in the churning maelstrom. The reef loomed closer, its jagged rocks a silent sentinel of fate. "Hard to starboard!" I shouted, my voice raw with exertion. The crew responded with practiced efficiency. The black-tide banking sharply as we skirted the edge of disaster. The sea monster followed, its massive form undeterred by the treacherous terrain. With a final surge of determination, we executed the daring maneuver, a risky gamble that would either deliver us from the jaws of doom or seal our fate in the depths below. The sea monster's tentacles thrashed wildly, its monstrous form ensnared by the unforgiving embrace of the reef. Rocks tore at its scaled hide, shredding flesh and bone with merciless efficiency. The creature bellowed in agony, a primal roar that reverberated through the water like a thunderclap. "We've got it!" I shouted, my voice echoing triumphantly above the chaos. Captain Drake nodded grimly, his gaze locked onto the sea monster's thrashing form. But victory was not yet assured. The sea monster fought with a desperate fury, its tentacles lashing out in a final desperate bid for survival. We stood poised on the brink of triumph and disaster, the air thick with the scent of blood and brine. With a collective effort, we unleashed a final barrage of cannon fire, targeting the sea monster's weakened form with relentless precision. Explosions rocked the water, sending shockwaves through the sea monster's massive frame. And then, with a shuddering sigh, the sea monster succumbed to the relentless assault. Its thrashing ceased, its primal fury extinguished by the cold embrace of the reef. The waters around us grew still, a silent testament to the battle that had raged and the victory that had been won. We stood on the deck of the black-tide, breathless and battered but victorious against the odds that had threatened to engulf us. Captain Drake's gaze met mine, a silent exchange of gratitude and respect amidst the aftermath of battle. But our triumph was tempered by the lingering shadows that haunted the horizon. The ghost ship still loomed in the distance, a reminder of the perils that awaited us on the unforgiving seas. As we tended to the wounded and repaired the damage wrought by battle, I couldn't shake the feeling that our encounter with the ghost ship and the sea monster had changed us irreversibly. We had glimpsed the depths of terror and the heights of courage, forged in the crucible of survival against adversaries that defied the natural order. And as the black tide sailed onwards, the specter of the ghost ship hovering at the edge of our awareness, I knew that our journey was far from over. The seas held countless mysteries and perils yet to be faced, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the indomitable will to survive against all odds. Part 5. Ghosts of the Abyss. The aftermath of our battle with the sea monster left us battered but unbowed. The black tide sailing onward through waters haunted by the lingering presence of the ghost ship. We nursed our wounds and repaired the damage to our vessel, but the specter of our encounter with the supernatural adversaries loomed large in our thoughts. Captain Drake paced the deck, his brow furrowed with contemplation. The crew moved with subdued determination, their spirits tempered by the harrowing ordeal we had faced. We had proven our mettle against the sea monster, but the ghost ship remained an enigma, a chilling reminder of the perils that awaited us on the unforgiving seas. As we sailed onward, the atmosphere aboard the black tide was tinged with a palpable sense of unease. Nightfall brought whispered tales of apparitions haunting the rigging, and phantom voices carried on the wind. Some crew members claimed to see flickering lights on the horizon, a ghostly beacon that drew nearer with each passing night. I stood watch, scanning the darkness for any sign of our spectral pursuer. The sea stretched out before us, a vast expanse of uncertainty and hidden dangers. The moon cast a silvery path across the waves, its light distorted by the restless swell. And then, on a moonless night shrouded in mist, the ghost ship returned, a spectral apparition emerging from the shadows like a phantom from the depths of the abyss. Its tattered sails billowed in an unfelt wind, its hull adorned with barnacles and seaweed that spoke of centuries spent adrift. Captain Drake's voice carried across the deck, a mixture of defiance and resignation. "Stand ready! We face our final reckoning with the ghost ship." The crew moved with grim determination, weapons at the ready as we braced for the inevitable confrontation. Cannons were loaded, their barrels aimed at the ethereal vessel that drew nearer with each passing moment. As the ghost ship closed in, a chill settled over my heart, a premonition of the horrors that awaited us in the moments to come. The air grew thick with tension, every breath a testament to the courage that burned within us like a flickering flame against the encroaching darkness. Spectral figures lined the ghost ship's deck, their eyes burning with an otherworldly hunger. They moved with a spectral grace, their movements silent and haunting. I gripped my sword tightly, steeling myself for the battle that would determine our fate. With a roar that echoed across the waves, the ghost ship unleashed its volley, cannonballs of ethereal energy that tore through the night with deadly precision. The black tide shuddered beneath the onslaught, wood splintering, and men and women falling in a hail of spectral fury. But we fought back with a determination born of desperation and defiance. Cannons roared in response, sending fiery projectiles hurtling towards our spectral adversary. Explosions rocked the sea, the air thick with the scent of gunpowder and the cries of the fallen. Amidst the chaos, I locked blades with a spectral foe, a phantom with eyes that burned with an insatiable thirst for vengeance. We danced across the deck, each clash of steel a desperate bid for survival against an adversary that defied the laws of the living. Captain Drake's voice rang out above the din, a rallying cry amidst the storm of battle. "Hold the line! We fight not just for our lives, but for our very souls." With renewed determination, we pressed our assault against the ghost ship. The battle raged on, a symphony of steel and spectral energy that echoed across the waves. The sea churned around us, a turbulent battleground where the line between life and death blurred with each passing moment. And then, in a moment that stretched beyond time, the tide of battle turned. With a final, resounding blast, we unleashed a volley that found its mark. a direct hit that tore through the ghost ship's ethereal hull with devastating force. The ghost ship shuddered, its spectral form flickering like a dying flame. Spectral figures wailed in anguish as the vessel began to unravel, its cursed existence finally coming undone beneath the relentless assault. And then, with a final haunting cry, the ghost ship vanished into the darkness, a fleeting specter swallowed by the depths of the abyss from whence it came. Silence descended upon the black tide asterisk, broken only by the ragged breaths of the survivors and the gentle lapping of waves against the hull. We stood amidst the wreckage of battle, hearts heavy with the weight of our victory and the sacrifices made along the way. Captain Drake surveyed the scene with a mix of relief and sorrow. "It's over," he murmured, his voice carrying the weight of our shared ordeal. But at what cost? As we tended to the wounded and repaired the damage to our battered vessel, I couldn't shake the feeling that our encounter with the ghost ship had changed us irreversibly. We had faced horrors that defied comprehension, and emerged scarred but triumphant against adversaries that transcended the realm of the living. And as the black tide asterisk sailed onward, the specter of the ghost ship lingering in our wake, I knew that our journey was far from over. The seas held countless mysteries and perils yet to be faced, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the indomitable will to survive against all odds.